Hi team, Tanya Cottrell here. I have a fantastic opportunity and I want to invite you to partner with me on something. Melissa Morgner and I are organizing an essential oil study. And we want to give you the opportunity to facilitate your own essential oil study and utilize the tools and the structure that we have in place for you so that it's easy. It's a turnkey strategy. And we're going to give you every single step of the process so that you can use this to grow your team, to grow your business, to enroll more people this month. I think you're really going to love it. So I just want to have a candid conversation with you here and unpack it for you a little bit. I'm going to tell you what studies are, how they work, why they are so brilliant, and how they can really help to move your business forward. And then what does it look like to actually do it so that you can decide if it's something you want to jump in on. Okay, so what is an essential oil study? Well, it's a strategy that helps with recruiting. And the purpose of it is to enroll more people. And we know that the nuts and bolts of moving your business forward is personal enrolling, all right? So who is a study for? It's for anyone who has sort of established their business and launched their business and they want a little extra oomph in their recruiting process. This is not for brand new builders. Why? Because we want brand new builders to learn the basics, the basic skills of sampling, inviting, teaching classes, enrolling, and throwing a study strategy at them can be confusing in the first early phase, and they can end up not learning the things they need to learn. So please don't invite your brand new builders into this, but use your judgment when they're established to a point where they've been enrolling people, they've kind of been working through their warm market the standard way, and they just need something to kind of maybe push through to get some more enrolling if that's slowed down. If you've hit a brick wall yourself, maybe you've tapped out your warm market, or you have people on your list, but they just haven't really opted into a class yet, and you just need a little something different to pull more people in, then this is a perfect strategy for you. So let me tell you where I learned this. I learned it from Patrick and Elise Shedevy, who are doTERRA's top distributors. They are triple diamonds. They are fantastic leaders, brilliant business builders. They have honestly coached and led many people to diamond and above. So this strategy was developed by them, and not only developed by them, it was evolved into what it is today, which is a complete system that works. All right. So what I mean by that is they've tried it all different angles. They've tried different lengths of time. They've tried different topics. They've tried different formats. They've tried different methods to see what works. And different ways of doing it bring different results. And so I love that they've collected data. They've done market studies. They have done this so many times that they can tell us exactly, do it this way. This is the way that works. This is the way that brings the most enrollments in. And we have that format. We have their exact instructions. And I love studies myself. I've done some myself and they are successful, but I feel like I have really benefited by getting that information from them and tweaking it to make it better and better. Okay, so this is Elise Shedevy's very favorite recruiting strategy, and that is significant. And I need to emphasize that, because if you're looking for some magic in your business, studies bring some of that magic. Okay, so why are studies so powerful? There's a few key reasons, and I want you to understand the psychology behind this. First of all, they are very simple. Like I said, we've got the formula, and if you execute it according to the plan, it's simple to do. It's very simple to do, and you can trust the process because it's been tried and it's true. This is a non-threatening way to introduce people to the oils. They don't feel that level of skepticism right out front that you're trying to get something from them, okay? And of course, you're trying to help them. And of course, we're trying to sell people oils. That's what we do. But we're trying to help them, and we're trying to offer them something that we know that it will change their lives and they'll be glad they have it. But still, because people have experiences with being approached with many different products out there, they still have that level of skepticism when they're first approached. And so this kind of bypasses that. It helps to break down that obstacle, because you are not coming to them and asking them to purchase something. You're not even coming to them and asking them to sample something. that they know that you're trying to sell them. You're asking them to participate in a study. It feels very non-threatening. And of course, you're going to give them the option to purchase oils on the back end. But that is after they've had a positive experience and they have realized, I need these in my life. And so it just flows well. It just feels good to your participants. And you're not even talking to them about buying oils until they're already sold and they're already hoping that you're going to tell them how to get their own oils. Does that make sense? Okay. People love to evaluate themselves. They love to think about themselves. They love to measure their results, especially women. Have you noticed on social media or in magazines how many of those self-evaluation quizzes there are? It's because we love to learn about ourselves. And so we're playing into that a little bit. They love the idea of being part of a study because they get to pay attention to themselves. They get to think about what's working for them. They get to try something that's going to help them live a little bit better. And it's just fun. They feel like it's fun. It just is attractive to people. They are really excited generally to participate. We get a lot of yeses on these. This is my top reason I love studies. Because aside from helping them to see how much the oils help them and selling them on the oils, it gives you the chance to sell them you. Because you create a relationship with them. You are offering them support and nurturing them throughout the study process. And they love it. How many times in our life do we have someone that's literally showing interest in how we're living our lives and helping us to live it better? How often do we really feel nurtured by people? That's our job, to nurture people. And they will love experiencing that with you. They will love experiencing your support. And by the end of it, they know they want oils, but they want to continue the process with you. They like working with you. So it gives you the chance to sell you, which is a huge part of the package. This is not a medical study. This is not a clinical study. We are not going to pretend to be scientists. We are just making this a fun, self-evaluation, results measuring experience. It's as simple as that. And people have a lot of fun with it. Okay. Let's talk about how it works. And I want to break this down into 3 parts. For your participants, what is their commitment? So what is their part in the study process? For me, for Melissa, your leaders, what's our part? What are we providing to you? And then what's your part? What do you need to do to be successful? So let's take a look at these 3 things. Your participants. Before we talk about what they're committing to, let's talk about what's in it for them, because that's what's going to be important to them. Why would they want to be a part of a study? Well, first of all, they're getting to try free product. They're getting some samples, usually about 2 oils or products a piece. And who doesn't like free products, right? It's non-risk. They get to try something for free, and that right there is usually a yes for them. They get free education. They get your support, of course. They get your help. They get the chance to win some fun prizes along the way that we'll be providing. And they get a chance to see if these oils really work for them. No risk. So what do they commit to? Well, they commit to a couple of things. An orientation session. So this is a must. Do not fudge on this. Do not hand out your samples without them agreeing to what you're asking them to agree to. Otherwise, you're just throwing samples into the wind, and that's an expense you don't need to put samples out there without being smart about it. So they need to attend the study orientation. It makes sense. What study would just give out the product without explaining how to do the study? So they're not going to oppose this. They will understand. But you request or you require that they attend this session. So what is the orientation session? Think about it this way. It's a basic intro to oils class without any of the clothes. All right. You're going to tell them what essential oils are. What are the cool things about essential oils? How are the 3 ways to use them? Give them some examples. Let them smell and maybe try a few oils there, just like you do in a class. Open their eyes to what oils, how amazing they are. And then you're going to stop before you get to the part where you talk about kits. And instead of doing the whole close, you are going to just talk about the study and say, this is how the study works. This is what you're going to do. You're going to give them their samples, and you are going to have them take the pre-study survey. intake survey. We do this all through Google Forms, and we'll have that provided to you. You're going to give them the link and tell them to fill in the questions. It's that simple. Let's talk about some details about this orientation session, because there's some outlying issues that can cause you to need to tweak it a little bit. So ideally, let's talk about the ideal first. You want all of your participants to come into the room with you live, and you're going to do this session with them all sitting in the room. You're going to give them their samples then. What if they can't make that session? What if they have a schedule conflict? Then schedule a one-on-one orientation with them. Here's what you should not do. You should not just make a recording and have them watch the recording. We have tried it this way, and the results are far more minimal. The Shedevis have studied this, and the results are a lot less productive, dramatically less. You need face-to-face time. You need to do this part of the educating and get them through the orientation class in person. You need to have that dialogue with them. So ideally, get them in a group together, because that herd instinct is great. They sell each other on it. But if you have to do it one-on-one, do it one-on-one. What if they're long distance? Well, this functions really well with local contacts. It can function with out-of-area people too. You just have to be a little bit more creative. So first, you're going to have to mail samples, which you just have to execute a little quicker to make sure they have them in time. And second, you're going to have to do it virtually. Again, don't use a recording. Have a virtual orientation session. Use Zoom or Google Hangouts so that everyone is actually on their computer, on camera, watching you on camera, just like they would in a live class. And then, of course, if they can't make that time, what are you going to do? You're going to do it individually, one-on-one. If you want to schedule more than one session so they have two options, you can do that as well. Or you can just opt into scheduling the one-on-one sessions. Okay, let's keep talking about their commitment. So far they have committed to the orientation session, and they don't have their samples in their hands yet, right? Unless they got them in the mail early. So there's a huge, draw to get there and pick them up. And the intake survey. And then they have to commit to using the samples throughout the study. They're going to work with you, they're going to talk with you through the process, and they're going to use them. And then the final commitment is that they would attend the post-study session. So think about it this way. It's like you've taken an intro class and you've split it into two parts, and you've inserted the study sampling experience in the middle. Does that make sense? So you're going to do your intro to oils without the close. They're going to be sampling their product and working with you during the study session. And then they're going to come to the follow-up, to the post-study session. And in that session, you're going to reveal results from the study, which we'll share with you. It's just fun. They enjoy it, and it builds more belief in them to see how well they work for everyone. You're going to allow them to share about their experience and tell their stories. There's nothing better than the stories. It builds belief. And then you're going to give them a small thank you gift, which helps to get them in their seats, to be honest with you. You get to choose what that thank you gift is. We'll give you some ideas, and we'll tell them they get a thank you gift when they go to the post-study session. But you get to decide what it is. And then part of that gift is a promotion. So you're going to say, here's your gift. And then also, as a special thank you to you, we're not offering this outside of our study participants, but you have this special promotion. It lasts for 48 hours. If you want to get started with your own oils, you can enroll within the next 48 hours and you get this free gift. Again, you get to decide what that is. And this creates urgency. It gives them, they feel like they have a special privilege to get their oils and get a deal that nobody else can get because they earned it. They earned that deal, all right? Keep in mind that by the time they've gone through the study, they've had a positive experience. Do they want the oils in their home? They do, because they saw these oils helping them. They want to continue to have that problem solved in their life. And by then, they should see that the oils can solve many problems in their lives. They want oils. Of course, they want the best deal. Of course, they want freebies. They are ready to hear how to buy their oils. So this is why we have high enrollment rates with studies. That's it. That's their part of it. That's their commitment, okay? There is an optional, and I highly encourage it. Hopefully we have about 99% participation in this, but it's of course not required. But there's an optional Facebook group that they can be a part of that we're going to run for you, all right? So that's going to have the education and the prizes and lots of testimonial along the way. It's going to really build up their experience and their belief in the oils. So that isn't required, but it is optional and encouraged. So what is our part as leaders? And then we'll talk about your part. So Melissa and I are facilitating this. We're creating all the material for you, and this is what we commit to providing to you. We provide the Facebook group, and we provide the education in there. We will be calling on a few volunteers. So if we talk to you, we would love to have some yeses from some of our wellness advocates to help us educate. And so we might be calling on a few, not everyone, to pop on some content or maybe a little video or something. But we'll provide that, and we'll provide some fun prizes to keep people engaged in the Facebook group and conversing. We will provide a backstage group on Facebook as well. And this is really important because this is what you're going to be in. All of the business builders on our team that are running studies will be in that, so that we have a place to communicate, strategize, educate you, train you. We'll give you the tools. We'll give you graphics to use for inviting. We'll give you the survey links. We'll explain to you how to run your sessions. We'll give you ideas for your incentives. All of those things will be in the backstage group. So that is where you're going to get equipped. And then I think I covered it all. Yes, we provide the surveys for you. We provide a checklist for you. We provide the instructions on what samples to give. And honestly, every single step of the way, we provide that for you. So what's your part? Well, whether your study is successful or not will ultimately depend on you. So you are responsible for recruiting in your participants, and that is the most important thing. So these are unenrolled people who are eligible to enroll. So they need to be adults who are not enrolled, ideally people that you think would be open to learning about oils. Honestly, our market is everyone. If they have a body, if they have health needs, they're open, right? So recruiting, and we'll give you some tips to that, but that is on the front end. That is what you're going to be doing before the study starts. You're going to be getting people opted in. So set your goal number of how many people you'd like to recruit in. Build your list longer than that, so that when you invite, then a portion of those will say yes, and you'll have your participants. You need to be committed to providing your own samples. We don't provide those for you, and we'll tell you what to get, but generally it's about 2 oils or products in like sample vials per participant, plus a little guidebook. Like, we really recommend the A to Z guides, okay? There's a few other options out there that could work. A to Z guides are great. And then you're committed to running your orientation session and your post-study session, and or any one-on-one appointments and meetings that you need to do to make sure every participant is covered in that. You need to provide your thank you gifts, and again, they can be small. We keep that very inexpensive, and your own enrollment incentive. It's of course worth it because you're building your business, you're getting new customers, you're making income, and you're building your pipeline. And you need to commit to nurturing them through the process. We've found that this makes or breaks it. You don't just recruit them and give them their samples, throw them in the Facebook group, and not talk to them until the end. You need to commit to following up with them about once every 2 days to check on them, let them know up front that that's part of your job and that you'll be doing that to see how they're doing, to give them guidance and tips throughout the week, answering questions. You also want to provide them the option to have daily reminders to use their samples. Some people will say no, some people will say yes. Do not do this unless they have said yes, or you'll annoy them. But some people worry that they're going to forget to use them. I am the type of person that if I were to participate in something, I would forget to use them. Okay, so I would welcome a reminder. And so the technique that we were taught to use is the 10-10 reminder texts. So you just offer it to them and say, if you're the type of person who tends to forget to use products daily, you can opt into having text message reminders. And that would just be, we call this 10-10 reminding. I would text you before 10 a.m. in the morning, and then again before 10 p.m. at night, just to remind you daily to use your supplements. Very simple reminder that'll just trigger you to use them. So offer that service, and if they don't want it, then don't force it. And then follow up after the post-study survey or post-study session, you're going to be following up during those 48 hours to try to close enrollments. And then, of course, all the support that comes with that after they enroll, or the additional follow-up if they don't choose to enroll at that point. Set a goal for how many participants you want. Share your goal with us. We're excited to support you in that. Make it the goal that you want. We find that one person has a hard time supporting more than 20 people. So you could set a goal of 5, 10, 15, 20 participants. If you happen to get more than 20, you may want to, you'll be working pretty hard. You may want to pull in your upline enroller, your mentor, and say, could you help me a little bit with supporting these people? Can you help me at my sessions? Because it really helps, especially with your closing session, with your post-study session. That's where you're going to be working with people on enrolling, so you may need another wellness advocate to help with that, or break it into more than one session, because 5 to 8 is ideal to get around and help each person and close. All right, so we're going to end with, I'm going to give you your next steps. If you're like, yes, I want in on this, your next step is that you need to go join the Backstage group. I'll have the link posted for you. Read through all the content on there. Make sure you're not missing any details. We'll give it to you. Be patient with us as we're posting it. We'll try to get it to you ASAP so you can start recruiting. Then you need to order your supplies if you don't have them on hand. Sample bottles for sure, and your A to Z guides. Sometimes those take a little longer to get than even the oils. You might already have the oils you need stocked. You may need to restock a few things. By the way, there's 4 topics people can choose to opt into on the study. We mix them all together in the group so that they're hearing testimonials from all kinds of health issues. But they might pick, they might say, I'm going to do the digestive study. So you're going to be giving different people different samples, but we have it all laid out for you. So you'll give them options. That's going to increase your numbers of participants, and it's going to increase the belief that they see in not just getting oils for one issue, getting oils in their home to address everything. Okay, so you're in the Backstage group, you're getting your supplies ordered, and then you're going to join the regular study group so that you have the ability to add your participants as they opt in. You're there in that group. We'll have you set as a moderator. Reach up to your upline leader and have them set you as a moderator. And that way you have the ability to add and approve people into the group. Do not add anybody that isn't your participant. And then you're there to help encourage and answer questions in the group. Even if it's someone that's not your participant, we're there as a community to support each other and answer questions. Do not cross-recruit. Do not try to enroll other people's participants. But we're all a team. We can support each other, and we can support each other's participants in answering questions and encouraging them in their usage. Then you just start recruiting. We'll give you tips in the Backstage group, but it's going to require you picking up the phone, calling people, texting them to see if you can get connected if you don't have their phone number to call them, or Facebook messaging, I should say. If you have their number, give them a call. And that's pretty much it. I'm excited. I'm excited to work with you and partner with you, and I will see you in the Backstage group.